What is a good investing return? Or another way you could say it, what is a good return on investment? ROI. All those are saying the same things. If I put my money somewhere, what sort of return, what sort of percentage would I expect to get back? Very, very wise question to ask because you want to make sure that you're trying to maximize the value of any sort of investment that you do make. Now, my main motivation with this is to help you avoid getting scammed because as you're about to see, there's some pretty crazy claims being made, but you've got to be able to understand and measure, well, is this claim crazy? Is it okay? Is it reasonable? And that's what I want to point out here to give you a good baseline so that you can make those judgments going forward. Now, this all comes from a message that I got, and as you'll see, we'll go through it and we'll measure out and we'll try to figure out, is this a good return? Is it unrealistic? Is it a bad return? So let's hop in and take a look at this message that I got about somebody making some claims. So Michael reached out and says, this group really can give me 15% per day? Now, if you don't have a baseline, those numbers are just sort of like because you have no idea what's bad, what's good, what's average. If you are just getting started as a beginner, then that's totally fine. I understand where you're coming from because you have zero reference point. You're brand new. And that is, well, that's just part of being brand new. So I'm glad you're watching this video so you can establish what would be considered quote unquote good so that you can recognize if there's a scam going on or not. So that's the claim, 15% per day. Let's now take a look at what some of the best hedge funds in the world, some of the best money managers in the world can pull off. Renaissance Technologies is one of the best hedge funds, founded in 1982 by James Simons. Because of the fund's success, Simons has often been regarded as one of the best money managers on earth. So now we have our context. One of the best money managers on earth. If you don't know what a hedge fund is, it's just a fund where a bunch of people give somebody else their money to grow it for them. That's all a hedge fund is. And this guy is regarded as one of the best on earth. So what kind of returns does he generate? Has he generated, as again, I'm trying to emphasize this, the best or one of the best money managers on earth. In 1994, the hedge fund returned over 70% and returned over 98% in 2000. So there we go. One of the best ever money managers in his best year was 98%. But just for math's sake, let's just call it 100%. Okay, best money managers on earth, one of his best years, 100%. Now let's go back to this message. Now a key component here with that 15% is per day. So let's take that 15% and well, let's multiply it by just 2 weeks, which would be 10 days. So 10 days, that means that this person is being told they would get 150%. So yes, of course, in your mind, alarm bells began to go off. Wait a second. This person is saying in 2 weeks, they're going to do 150%. Yet one of the best money managers on earth was in his best year, 100% in 1 year. I don't think I need to say any more. So yes, this is absolutely a scam. Now, valid question you may be thinking is, okay, Clay, well, when does it become too much? How do I know when somebody's actually saying something that is unrealistic? Well, I'm not going to cite any sources here. You are more than welcome to go and look around, but I will just say that everything that I've seen in terms of what is an average return, if you just were to throw your money into a fund that tracks the S&P 500, you're looking at between, on average, 8 to 12% per year. I say that just because some people are going to say 8. I've seen other people say 12. So 8 to 12% per year is what an average S&P 500 fund, again, that's just my fancy way of saying the stock market, what the stock market would give you on a yearly basis, again, on average. Some people say 8, other people, and I've seen it up to 12%. So anything above that starts to get very sketchy. But the key thing here is per day. You can make 15% per day. We will give you 15% per day. Any sort of variation of that, where it comes across as that's just what it is. That's what you get. That's what we'd call a guarantee. And anybody guaranteeing you anything, you better be skeptical. And anybody guaranteeing you something that is well above or just even above normal returns, I would say 9.99 times out of 10, scam. Run. So at the end of the day, keep that in mind when people are approaching you. Well, and that's another thing I probably should have noted. Anybody that's reaching out to you, be very, very skeptical. That in and of itself, especially if it's through social media and they don't seem to have the best English or whatever language you speak, probably some more telltale signs that I'm not quite sure if this is accurate or not. So use those numbers, 8 to 12%, use a little bit more of kind of some common sense things. And now you have a baseline to which you can judge whether or not you're potentially getting set up for a scam. Now, hopefully, maybe I said all this and you're like, I can't believe I watched this. Duh, I knew all that. Good. I'm glad. That means I wouldn't say you're at any threat. But also keep in mind, some people are so brand new to the point where they just have no baseline. And now those people do have a baseline. And if that's you, good. I'm glad I could help you out with this video. So I don't know. Down below, let me know. What's the crazy, if you've ever been approached by somebody, what's some of the craziest promises that you've been made here? This one's pretty crazy. 15% per day. Wow, that's pretty mind-blowing. But yeah, what is some of the craziest claims you've seen? Leave those down in the comment section below. And as always, if you're not a subscriber yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications so you know when new videos are being sent out. So thanks for watching. And yes, please don't get scammed. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.